going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Coaches Convos. I'm Coach Will. As always, I'm here with Coach Quan. Today we're going to be talking about the 11... What's this called?
Nah. 11 what? This one's going to be a good one, guys. This is
the 11 components of fitness, health, and skill related. So we're going to break this down into two different sections. And we're going to have different parts of each section we're going to break down. We're going to talk about it from our point of view as different coaches with different coaching styles. I have more of the general wellness and arguably the bodybuilding side, and Quan has more of the athletic-based training side. So it's going to be really interesting to see how we relate all these and how we bring them into our training for our personal lives as well as our clients' lives. So I'm going to just break down, we can put this into two different categories. We have the health-related components of fitness, which is cardiovascular endurance, muscular endurance, strength, flexibility, and body composition. And then we have the skill-related fitness, which is power, speed, agility, coordination, balance, and reaction time. So, is there anything you want to start with, talk about right off the bat?
Well, right off the bat, I would probably start off, I would like to just say that most of these relate, I would say, for the skill-based, things. They're all basically correlated. They all kind of do the same thing in one sense in the end. So I would like to start off with probably muscular strength. So for our athletes or for anyone going into our gym, muscular strength is super important. What we're doing, we're building our tendons, building our muscles, and then even our fascia, and then strengthening our joints and tendons like that when you are developing that strength. So that is super vital, and it's super key to, be strong. And then also one thing to keep in mind when you're developing that muscular strength, you will be enhancing your body composition at that point as well. So with a better body composition for athletes, your performance will be a little bit better, as well.
No, absolutely. And going to, like you said, you're going to notice that we're going to really play these into each other. We'll try and highlight some of the more specific parts of each one. Like you already started talking about muscular strength, so I'll kind of dive deeper into muscular strength, and I'll also bounce that off into the comparison with muscular endurance and how those are different. But muscular strength is going to be good for not only just athletes, for anyone in general, for general health, because it's going to lower your risk of injury when you have muscular strength. If you are able to handle the bag of groceries getting to your car, or you're able to handle a specific load, whether it's, a heavy car door, or if it's, furniture you get to move around, or anything like that, it's good to keep your muscular strength up so that you can perform more explosive or more heavy-based exercise or activities throughout your daily life and lower your risk of injury.
Yeah, maintain that proper posture.
Absolutely. And now I want to emphasize how we also said muscular endurance, which sounds very similar. You think it's the same thing, but there is a difference where muscular strength is more about the initial moment of the activity, whereas muscular endurance is going to talk about longevity of using your muscles. So this would be like carrying a said heavy object that you were able to pick up with your muscular strength, now taking this heavy object and moving it from point A to point B without fatiguing, without overextending, without overcompensating with other muscles. That's where this is important. So that's why we do things like high rep ranges or isometric or eccentric training when it comes to our gym life, so that we can build more endurance in our muscles.
Yeah, and now correlated to skill base. If for example, if I have a football player in front of me and we're pushing the sled for maybe 30 yards or 50 yards, that's where the muscular endurance is going to come in, where the strength also is there as well, but now it's over a duration or a period of time. And that's why the endurance is key and vital. We want them to be able to do the sled push, for example, with proper form and technique, so to improve their skills. So that's why it's super important and vital, most definitely.
And the endurance, you also want to make sure they can stay on the field for a long period of time when it comes to real-life activity of playing in a game.
Exactly.
They want to be able to push that lineman throughout the entire game. They don't want to fatigue out and let the line collapse.
Exactly. I look that, the sled push is for, Specifically, it enhances lineman's performance. And literally, just imagine a person right in front of you. That's why I said that. So if you're not football savvy and your kids are playing football, get them sled.
Yes, very important. I remember when I did. So I had I played football in second grade. Like that was second and third grade. So I remember man. I literally was Pee-wee. I'm gonna see if I can find a picture. I'll put it up here. Like little Bill with my helmet that was way too big for my head. And that's why I'm probably the way I am right now. But we had something like that. But we had the sleds that had like the picture of the lineman on it. I don't know if that has like a different name. Is that like the one where it was actually it was a line and like so you had the line pushed.
No, that's also So what we were first talking about, that's called the prowler.
Okay.
So that's called the prowler. That what you're talking about with the lineman actually in front of it, with pushed in, that's called the sled.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. So we talked about.
Yeah, check that.
Listen, I mean. You know what? This is more than just the gym. We talk about sports here too.
Man. Got to.
So when we talk about muscular endurance, some people might have also thought when I said endurance, they might think of cardio. So now we're going to talk about cardiovascular endurance. This is also very important for athletes, for professionals in the gym, or professional desk jockeys. This is very important for you all. Cardiovascular endurance is good for your heart health. It's not just so you can run marathons and not be winded. Having cardiovascular endurance is promoting blood flow. It's promoting blood throughout the body to circulate. It's good for circulation, which is going to keep your hands from feeling numb all the time, or it's going to help lower fatigue levels because you have blood pushing through you. You have your body oxygenated, your muscles oxygenated. So cardiovascular endurance is good, and that's why we say things as simple as taking a walk to get your heart rate up, or going on the treadmill, elliptical.
10,000 steps a day.
10,000 steps a day, which is also good for your joint health and bone density. All this muscular endurance and cardiovascular endurance also leads to proper bone density, which is good because strong bones mean not brittle bones, which means not broken bones. So it keeps you uninjured, it keeps you healthy, it keeps you going. That's why with a lot of my older clients, which I'll talk about more when we step into balance and coordination, a lot of what we do, I still put them on machines. I still have them weight training, not because I'm trying to have Granny be a bodybuilder, but because
I love my old ladies, man. Yo, they're so funny.
They're so funny.
I love them, but my bad.
Oh, no, you're right. But we want to keep them funny. We want to keep them around for a long time. So that's why we do weight training. That's why there's so many opportunities for seniors to get free gym memberships with like the Silver Sneaker program or anything like that, because building strong muscles and weight training also improves bone density, and all this leads to our older generation not being injured and not fatiguing, and it's also good for their mind.
Yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. I like that. And it also correlates to our skill-based players too as well. You want to know? I said you want to know. What do you want to know? What do you guys want to know? No, but the cardiovascular. For example, now I'm just throwing it out there. You know, tennis, we're not really going to be running too much, you know what I mean, compared to soccer, lacrosse, where you guys are going to be going up and down the field, for example. So your cardiovascular is going to be super important, and then that tails into your speed as well. That's another physical component for us. Your speed, which is super important. Overall, speed necessarily will develop your body in a sense where you become more agile. That's another one. That's going to be later on. You become more agile, and then also your muscles become lengthened, so you become more flexible in a sense too. That's another one that we're going to touch base on. So that's why speed is super important. So developing that speed gets your body in a sense to be more aligned with itself. So that's one thing that I want to touch base on. Most definitely.
Absolutely. Speed, agility, power, flexibility, these all come into play when it comes to the different muscle fibers, which if you guys want us to really go into that, into the deep anatomy, talk about fast twitch versus slow twitch, type 1 versus type 2, when it comes to your muscle fibers.
Fascia.
Exactly. These are all very important, but flexibility is good for a multitude of reasons. Flexibility is going to produce, is a very core foundation that's going to keep a lot of this going. It's going to keep you keep your muscle endurance, keep your muscle strength. It's going to keep your cardiovascular endurance. If you have very tight hips, you're probably not going to be able to walk on a treadmill for a long period of time. So having flexibility is very important.
Yeah, or run up and down the field for a long period of time. You're cramping up all the time. So your hamstrings blowing, or you're tearing your ACL because your foot strike placement was incorrect, because you're tired, your posture is off. So being good with your heart health, cardiovascular health, and then also being quick and fast is optimal for us athletes and when we're on field or in sport. So, preventing injury is good, but.
And that's across the board, whether it's your 20-year-old football player or my 80-year-old senior client. That's why flexibility. Yeah, that's why flexibility is so important, because flexibility is also going to promote speed, and another one that we're talking about, which is power. So if you don't have the flexibility, you're not going to be able to get through a full range of motion. So you're not going to be able to explode into something with speed or something with power, like you're doing, and that also leads into muscular strength. So if we have enough muscular strength, we can actually promote more power. Power is, the way I describe it is, if you're doing strength-based training versus powerlifting or power-based training, you gotta think of your rep ranges and your percentage of your 1 rep max. If we're doing strength-based training, I'm probably going anywhere between 5 to 8 reps. Whereas if I'm doing power-based training, I'm going anywhere from 3 reps all the way down to a 1 rep per set. And that's where power comes into play, where you're using so much more brute strength, so much more effort. And this is where your flexibility comes into play, because you need to make sure you get that full range of motion if you're going to go into a snatch and clean.
Yeah, most definitely.
Or a clean and jerk.
And that full range of motion is enabled if you become faster too as well with the speed. That's something that I didn't say, and I wanted to just throw that in there.
You get a full. Think of a sprinter. If you are flexible, you can get a full stride. You can push all the way back, and also power plays into, if we're thinking of sprinters, or we're thinking of marathon runners, or we're thinking of short distance.
Exactly, the power output. The more force into the more force into the ground that you put, the faster that you become. The wider the stride length, the less distance you have to travel. So it all plays into it. So sorry, camera died.
Camera died. It is what it is.
Listen, we're back.
You were definitely in the middle of a thought, but we'll just push on from there. If you guys can do me a favor, can you like and subscribe? Can you get us some? If we can get some, if you can throw a little cash
some love, like.
Because if we can get a little monetization, I can get a nice camera that's gonna just constantly run, and we don't have to worry about these problems.
We can see ourselves.
Exactly. Like right now, my phone, like a little behind the scene, my phone is behind us. Like we
get a desk. Just like
we'll have a nice office, but that makes sense.
Just do us a favor, man. Just like the video.
And if you like if you think our stuff will be interesting to other people, if you know other people that are interested in fitness and sports and any of this stuff, send them our way. We'd love to talk to them.
Most definitely. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, if we could relate to you guys in any way possible, give you guys any type of advice, help, tips necessary, that's what we're here for.
Absolutely. Shameless plug aside, we're almost done with our list, and I'm gonna go into it a little bit.
If you need me, I'm here. Alright,
call me if you get lost. So balance and coordination. Balance and coordination. I'm going to go really deep into this, because this is something that is it's a big, if I'm honest, selling factor when it comes to my older clientele. Now, if you look at our client rap sheets, if you take a list of Quan's clients and a list of my clients, and you take the median age is probably 50, because we have some older clients between the two of us. And one thing that's super important for them is what's called their proprioception. So your 5 senses, your sense of taste, your sense of smell, your sense of sight, your sense of hearing. There's many other senses that we have on top of that, like our sense of balance. Something that's really important is our proprioception, which is the way our body reacts to space and time. This is something that we lose over time.
Don't bleed into it, bro.
I'm bleeding into it.
My bad to cut you off, but yeah,
you're good. So balance and coordination is very important, because especially as we get older, and it does feed back into your flexibility, your muscle endurance, your cardiovascular endurance. If you don't have these things, then you're actually going to lose your balance and coordination. You're not going to be able to be as, you're not going to be able to walk as straight. You're not going to be able to move around, bend over to get something. Yeah. One way I explain this to people and why they don't understand why they lose your proprioception, it's all about practice. Think about when you were a kid and you were climbing over everything. You were climbing up and down stuff. When I was a kid, we weren't allowed to have curtains in my living room, because I had a knack for grabbing the curtain and swinging from curtain to curtain like Tarzan. and landing on the couch. Like, it was a funny
That's so
scene.
funny.
We had
Funny
to.
story. That is so funny. So for me, it was every time we'd sit on the couch would pull him down and the curtain, like the ring would break. So my mom, literally, that's why we got our curtains.
We had to move our entire living room like 180 degrees. So that yeah, and that's what they called me. They called me Tarzan because I would swing from curtain to curtain and land on the couch.
You had the hair too, I remember.
I did. I had long hair for a long time. But that was when I was in like middle school. I wasn't doing that in middle school.
Yeah, bro, tweaking.
But, you know, it's you, when you were a kid, you were more adventurous. You were climbing over stuff. You were using your body in space and time in all different ways. Whereas when you're an adult, pretty much all you're doing is sitting in the car, sitting at your desk, laying down on your bed,
couch.
laying on the couch. I had
your desk at work, necessarily, you know, so.
I had a client who said he was experiencing something close to vertigo, where when he would get up out of bed, it would be hard for him to catch his balance. And then when he started weight training with me, right away it went away. And then we were able to lock that in even better by doing different balance and coordination exercises that really isolate, you know, individual legs and individual arms. And that's something that is just part of what our brain doesn't use over time.
That's super cool.
And that's, you know, individuality. I was a drummer for a long time, and that's something that I had to really learn, is to use each of my limbs individually and how to have them controlled in space and time. It's something that we just lose over time that we don't need.
Exactly, and it correlates. Like you were saying, like today, for instance, 11 o'clock, I had my lady. She's 77 years old, Annie, and she actually has vertigo herself. Every single week, every Friday, we try her planks. The first week, it was like 20 seconds. Second week, it was like 40, and then the third week, it was 1 minute and 30 seconds. Today, today I had her lifting both legs individually as she was doing the plank. Today we got 20 seconds of doing that, but her balance and stability has been improved just by implementing strength training to her life. And like you said, we have our clients that range between 50. In my classes, they're all old ladies. I love them to death.
50 is the minimum.
There's like, I'm lucky if I have 5, 20 year old. Like, you know, I'm not really looking at it anymore, you know? Like, but I'm trying to just look for posture if I'm keeping it clean. It's super important that you say that because it cues into your reaction time. So when I have them going over the step or doing different movements, single arm, like a lateral raise and a front raise, they could do that without stumbling over or going over the step. That's just a nice little obstacle that we have in the classrooms. Going over the step, doing jumping jacks on the step, doing a bunch of different movements, they're able to do that because their reaction time is better, because their balance and coordination is already improved. And that again falls into your strength and muscular endurance, all that stuff plays a role into this. And now translating that to our athletes and performance-based people, think about it as this: you become more reactive to a stimulus, that's what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
You become more reactive to the stimulus that your body is giving you. So your body sends yourself a signal necessarily, and you'll be able to respond and act on that response a little bit quicker. So, for instance, say I'm a football player. If I'm running in a straight, say I'm a kick returner or a punt returner. Holy smokes, that is probably the scariest thing in the world to think about. You catch the ball, there's already 5 people, 11 people flying right at you. Their reaction time has to be on point, their agility, all that stuff has to be on point, but they have to be able to think quickly, react quickly, and get the heck out of the way quickly. So they have to do all that in the same time, and that all falls into better reaction time. Now think about it, same thing with keeping it with football. If I'm a quarterback, I have to be able to see the entire field and make my decisions consciously in my head. I have to be able to still throw the ball as I'm looking at my defender that's coming right at me, the DN that's about to sack me, but I have to release the ball before you know what I mean? So better reaction time equals better body responses, and having a better body response just is better overall in my opinion.
Another one with reaction time when it comes to athletes is baseball players. You have a ball coming at you 99, 98, 100 miles an hour, and it could be coming towards your bat, or it could be coming towards your face, and you have to make that split-second decision. And that's where, proprioception, that's very important. You need to have that reaction time of, okay, where's this ball heading? I need to take my bat, and I need to bring my bat at the correct angle to not only hit the ball, hit it so it goes forward and not off to the side where it's a foul.
Exactly. And it goes for all sports across the board: soccer, hockey, anything with a goal. Goalies have to be super quick with their reaction time, balance and coordination, so that they don't trip and fall over themselves on the ring. So it's super important. There's a lot of key components that play a major role into fitness and skill-based stuff, and then overall health and wellness. But overall, I would say I like it because it all improves longevity and then limits your risk of injury. So overall, your health is improving.
100%. And so much of the skill-related stuff. I know we talk a lot about the athlete, athlete specific examples of why it's so important. But there's also so many day-to-day life examples where you need reaction time. If your bottle falls off the table, you got to catch it.
Yeah,
especially if it's glass.
Literally, AirPod falling out when you're on the treadmill.
Yeah. You know how many times I've had to my reaction time is always tested.
A deer comes across your windshield.
And you have to react. Absolutely. Balance.
Anything could happen in real life too. So
balance coordination can come as simple as picking something up off the ground. And that also always comes with flexibility.
Muscular strength. It could be picking your luggage off of the airport and now your back is hurting. You know what I mean? So limit yourself. Take care of your health. Limit the risk of injury, because there could be literally picks and ains anywhere. Your lower back, your shoulder, your hip, knee, ankle. We have so many different joints on our body.
I really like picks and ains. That's really cool. Aches and pains. You said picks
and
ains.
No, I did
that's
not.
Awesome.
No.
Oh, that's amazing.
Guys, once a day.
We're about
picks and ains.
We're both understimulated right now because we're actually about to go do legs.
Yeah.
But so we're gonna wrap this up anyway because as we went through all this stuff, these are all very important things. So I want you to always look at these 11 things. As trainers, we look at these things. These are things that we subconsciously, like when I've pulled up this list, I'm like, oh, this is really cool. And then I realize, oh, this is all stuff that I worry about and I talk about and we discuss. This is second nature to us as trainers because we want to have all of our clients, whatever their specific goals are, we want them to have all these skills to whatever degree that they need them. So Quan's football players might need more reaction time and power practice and power workouts than my old lady does. But she might need more balance and she might need more muscular endurance because her day-to-day is aches and picks and ains, as Quan was saying.
So, I like that you say that because there's a lot of different atmospheres or places that you guys could go to seek help, and there's a lot of different people that will give you guys the help that you guys need. So, be sure to, if you guys are looking for help, address what you think needs to be helped so that you could, fix what you want, achieve those goals that you guys are trying to get to, whether it's the athletes or health and wellness, just being inside the gym. I know everyone's not trying to be a bodybuilder like me, but, all these components relate to me in the gym, and then they relate to my athletes in the gym, they relate to my wellness clients in the gym, and then they relate to everyday life outside the gym if you want to, live a healthy life. And that's what we're trying to do here ultimately.
Absolutely. And if you are training with a trainer, hold their feet to the fire. I want my clients to hold their feet to the fire. I would ask them, what are we doing in my workouts for my balance coordination? What are we doing for speed? What are we doing for my muscular endurance? Now, they might come back at you and say, because I can already think of one of my clients that might come back at me with some of these questions, like, oh, what are we doing for speed? And right now, speed is not your goal. We're trying to build muscle and we're trying to lose weight. I want you to go as quickly as you can to that treadmill and give me 20 minutes because we need to work on you getting that cardiovascular endurance. But speed training is also, could be the speed of his rep, or it could be his reaction time, and working on his proprioception, his body in space and time. But I do want you guys to take these 11 components because these are all important things that you need for real life living.
Yeah, I think you should list them again.
Yeah, so we'll do it one more time.
We kind of mishmashed, joined them all together because they ultimately lead to better health. So that's why they're 11 components. So.
And I'll leave them in the description as well, and I'll probably have them here somewhere on the screen if I feel like editing. So health-related components of fitness are cardiovascular endurance, muscular endurance, strength, flexibility, body composition. And now our skill-related fitness components are power, speed, agility, coordination, balance, and reaction time. So there are 11 components of fitness, both health and skill-related.
Nice and easy.
Thank you guys so much for watching, as always. If you like what you see here, be sure to check out some of our other videos. They're going to be on our channel. Hit that like button, hit that bell button. We had 2 weeks off. That's my mistake entirely. We're back on our Tuesdays.
Yeah.
We are back at it. This is going to be, our first one of the consistent train again. Again, thank you so much for watching. We will see you guys in the next video on Tuesday.